Okay, let's see. Where's my... There we go. What's up, everybody? I'm Darkish, and welcome to the Darkish Timeline. 1 second, guys. Let me post this video here on my socials. Just see if we can maximize the people that are in here real quick. I'm starting to see why Eric, 75 subscribers. Hell yeah! All right. Alright, let's see. God, I hate messing with YouTube stuff on the phone. Okay, go to it. Anyway, what's up, guys? What's up, brother? Audio's kind of off. What's wrong with it? Does it sound far away or robotic? Robotic? Okay. Let me check it here. How about now? Anything? Still robotic? Robot filter? Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me check this shit. How about now? Do I have a robot filter on the audio still? Still robot voice? Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can hear it myself. Hello? Yeah, so that's weird. It's super fucking weird. Okay, 1 second. Like I said, I have sound issues every single time I turn on my computer, so I have to reset every setting I have in this thing because none of them save. So. Okay. Input. Yeah. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Is it all good? Any sound? Okay, so does that fit? That work? Okay, cool. Alright guys, welcome. Now I got that little thing to kind of stop the sounds in my room. It's a voice mod, but it's got a built-in like sound dampener. So I try to use it to keep from everybody hearing my air conditioner. But apparently it got stuck in robot mode. So there we go. No, I didn't see the site being messed up today, but I'm going to get on there tonight and order my stuff just as soon as I get paid. But yeah, so apparently they'll all come out of the woodwork today. It's been crazy on Twitter today, guys. Like, I was gonna come in and talk about how myths die, but I mean, damn, Twitter has lost its damn mind today for some reason. I guess because they're getting close to 3 million. Oh, okay. I don't know if he increased that or not. But, we can check real quick. I know he said that some overseas that he was getting ripped off on some overseas ships. Because he was undercharging for that. Let's see. Okay. This thing's awkward with the phone anyway. Oh, damn. Post office may have went up. But it may all depend on what you're ordering too by weight, so that could be a factor. If he's shipping priority, then it'll be by weight. But yeah, Twitter's lost its mind today. The new conspiracy theory is that the comic is woke. Okay. And I'm like, guys, y'all need to go watch any Eric July video, period. Just watch any of them. Like, pick one at random and just watch it. If y'all think that this is going to be a woke comic. I even showed one guy where it was, literally,
he says it's not, where he says in the Rippaverse, preview video, he says it's not going to be woke, and ethnicity and all that stuff will not matter. I showed this one guy that, and he's like, but he doesn't specifically say it's not woke. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this conversation now. You're too stupid to deal with. Like, I didn't even say that. I'm just like, I'm done. I cannot. I'm losing brain cells just talking to you. Well, yeah, that nobody's gonna read it. I mean, people are buying 2 and 3 copies just so they have one to put up and one to read. Like, oh hell, I don't know. But apparently they got it fixed, according to, they post all the updates and stuff on Twitter, so yeah, I don't know. Like literally, I just wanted to come on and talk about fucking how myths die, like Gilgamesh being replaced by the Jewish and Egyptian myths, and then the Egyptian myths being replaced by the Greek and Roman myths. And then, later on, you got the Celtic myths and the Norse myths, that have basically replaced that, and Christianity, replacing all of it in general. But just going into it like that, and then going into okay, so we had the Tall Tales here in America that were myths. They got replaced by pulp comics, and then pulp comics got replaced by DC and Marvel. Marvel should have been the DC killer. It wasn't, so just like I was saying the other night, like Image should have been the Marvel and DC killer as well, but it didn't kill him. It in fact became part of them. Most of his good stuff, except for Spawn and The Walking Dead and other stuff, became part of it. Dark Horse and Boom, IDW were never big enough to kill DC and Marvel, and IDW never had its own real properties, other than I think there was a vampire one that they had that wasn't 30 Days of Night. Yeah, no. She thinks because the character's black and there's a black character and a woman that there's identity politics, and that's not the case. Because there's also, I count at least one white guy, one white woman. The dude with the red beard and stuff, he's a white guy. I mean, I see multi-ethnicity in this book, but I'm not judging it based on that. Right? Like, that's how small their brains are. Like, they can't think of anything that could be other than identity politics. It's, it's stupid. It is retarded. Like, I know I said the other night I wasn't going to do the drama stuff, but I'm going to do the drama stuff today. Because I'm a little irritated. So, yeah. So, we get to talk about that stuff today. I'll do some theory videos later in the week, or sometime when I come up with another one, or find another one online that I like. But yeah, the super echo chambers and let's see. Wait, I have an echo? Okay, I thought you were talking about the echo chamber. Okay, yeah. So is that better? Echo? Any echo? Testing. Yeah, better? Okay, cool. Yeah, is it gone? I mean, because it shouldn't be. My mic's retarded. I'll be the first one to say that my mic is retarded. Because like I was telling them earlier, every time I turn my computer off, I have to redo all my sound settings because none of them save. So sometimes it'll switch back to robot mode or echo mode or whatever the hell it wants to do. So yeah, only been the past 5 minutes or so. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, I've been talking and not reading the chat, so and when I saw echo, I'm like, echo chamber, that's what they're talking about, okay. And then I read like super echo. Oh my, okay, yeah, that means I'm echoing. I got you. Yeah, y'all just yell at me if it goes to echo or something like that. Don't let me sit up here and talk the whole time, cause I will. I can't hear my own voice right now, so. And I'm just I'll get up here and I'll start talking, just rattling on, and I won't even pay attention to it. So, and then I'll rewatch the video later after somebody tells me there's an echo in it. Yeah. So, yeah, if there's a problem with it, just somebody in the comments just say sound issue. All right, and then I'll see that. If I see echo, I'm gonna go off on the echo chamber tangent real quick. So, at least I wasn't muted. Yes, 3 times yesterday I tried to record a damn video. 3 times. Okay. The first time it was muted. The second time it would not load. Like, I could not get it to load from the preset I had. Could not get it to load up. So it was trying to load a separate video here, and my voice coming through here. Yeah. So it's just retarded. If I hadn't put so much money into this computer already, I would probably throw it out the window. But yeah, because it just does not save sound settings at all. I have to redo it. I have to restart it. I have to unplug. I have to make sure that my voice mod is not on or my voice mod is set to the correct settings. Like if I know it's going to be noisy in here, like having the air conditioner on, I've got to make sure, because this is not a soundproof room, and my mic is probably, the best thing I've got. It's, a good mic, so it picks up everything, right? My mic is the best thing I've got here. Everything else is. I got a computer that could render videos, pretty easily, so that's what I got it for. But yeah, so they've just been going like retarded on Twitter. God damn it, Twitter. Twitch too, probably. But they've gone retarded, and they're coming up with this new. Their new update came in, and it's that it's a woke comic because it's got identity politics, and I'm like, go watch an Eric July video, please. Just go watch one, any of them. Pick one at random and go watch it. I'll wait. I even found one dude a video, and it was where he's saying like ethics, the ethics code one, and he's like, but he doesn't say it. He doesn't say that it's not woke. I'm like, go watch a fucking video. Go watch an Eric July video. Any of them. I'm done with you. I got a show to do. I am not a mod on that. No. I'm on it, but I'm not a mod there. Yeah, next June, or never gonna show up. Oh no, there's gonna be some of them that buy the comic and read it, just to show, hey, look, we're right. This is retarded, or they're gonna do it to bootleg it, so they can copy it and spread it out throughout the internet. But it's why there's not gonna be PDFs of it right now, just so. It's going to be harder for anybody to pirate that way. Yeah, I don't know. The Reddit one just popped up out of nowhere, like because people were getting banned. So I'm assuming that it's them, those guys that were banned, that were part of it, right? That made it. I don't know anybody on there other than maybe Ryan, and I don't know his name on there. I just know he's on it because he was talking about something that I was involved in the other night, which is the gatekeeping thing. And I said, yeah, gatekeep the fuck out of this. If y'all want to keep it safe, you gatekeep the fuck out of it. And somebody's like, oh, gatekeeping's stupid. And I'm like, no. Ask any Star Wars fan or any Marvel or DC fan recently, if gatekeeping is stupid. Because we didn't gatekeep before. They said we did. And there may have been smaller groups that did. But we didn't gatekeep hard enough. So, yeah. Yes, gatekeep the fuck out of everything you love. Not necessarily against other fans, but definitely not against even normies really, but definitely against corporations. Like, gatekeep the fuck out of it. Like, gatekeep. Don't let people take over your fandoms. That's pure and simple. Like, this channel's my new fandom, I don't have any worries about this one getting sold to somebody, like Disney or Warner Brothers or whatever. I don't have any fears about that. So, gatekeep successful, I've got to do something about this because I can't read those messages on the screen. If not today, then tomorrow it does. Late night, early morning. It's almost there as it is. It's 28, I think. And it's just constantly spent, getting more and more and more. And like I said, I'm buying my stuff tonight. I'm getting me a Rip-A-Verse hat and probably issue B if it is still available. I want issue C too, but I can buy it later. Cover A would be my choice if it were a Virgin cover, but it's not, so. But yeah, so just Twitter's retarded. People on Twitter are retarded. I hope that some of them buy the comic. just because, Your prediction is 10 million. I'd say you're probably close to right there, judging by how it's been going. So we got 2 million roughly the first week. We're about to hit the 3rd million in the second week of it. So that's 2 months roughly. It may slow down some here in about, I'll say 2 weeks. It's going to slow down more. Yeah, unless people just start buying the stuff again, like the shirts and the hats. Everything's going to get bought up when people want it, as far as that goes. The covers are going to sell. They're going to be sold out, and then there's going to be a bunch of C covers that sell. Okay, yeah. You're thinking 5 million. I'm going higher than 5 million. I'm gonna say it's gonna tap out around anywhere from 9 to 12. I'm not gonna like pull it in too much. 9 to 12 million is where this first campaign is gonna tap out. The second campaign is gonna do 20. That's my prediction. Oh no, what gets me are the people that confuse me for Eric, right? Because they'll see Ripaverse News, right? They'll see the title, because I changed my Twitter to this, because this is my main channel now, because it's the big one. So, my handle is still the same though. So, but people will think that I'm Eric. Okay, first off, I look nothing like Eric. But, second of all, you know, I was getting this last night in Tuesday Night Main Event. Like, people were sending me messages thinking that I was Eric. And I'm like, I'm not Eric, guys. I'm not Eric. Like, hey, what's up, Piggy? Yep. 10 weeks, 5 days. Like I said, I'm thinking I'm 100% on $9 to $12 million. That's if it doesn't increase in sales, like just people just go ape shit who haven't got it yet and get cover C and a bunch of stuff. But since everybody's basically got what they want so far out of it, you know, it's $2 million worth, $2 to $3 million worth. Right, cover A and B are about sold out. So, okay, yeah, man, get those to me, and I'll get you guys modded for sure. Okay, I tried searching for them, but there's like 4 General Piggies, so I didn't even try that, and I couldn't find Hell of the Lores. So, yeah, these guys are gonna be my mods, because this channel is blowing up faster than I imagined, especially after last night. My God, like, I was not expecting to get a shout out when I wasn't, you know, dropping any super chats or anything. So, I was not expecting that. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I imagine like there's 30K purchasers. There's and I don't know if that's counting repeat purchases or not, but you know, it all depends on how that goes. I am not an economist. I don't know any of that stuff specifically. I just know, you know, like 3 million is a lot of money. You know, like that's a lot for a comic book. Which if you factor in like all the other stuff taken out of that, then it is probably just the comic books. It's probably hit it's at least hit the margin for the best comic books, the highest number of comics sold this year, or graphic novels anyway. You know, it's probably broke that, just because I imagine that everybody who has bought something has bought a comic. I don't figure there are too many people that just bought a shirt or just bought a poster. You know, there's no way that, and some people like Karaoke. Am I saying that right? Bought all 3. So, you know, if you buy all 3, then okay, buy all 3 signed. Yeah. So that's it. I was predicting last night that the B cover is going to be worth the most, other than the D cover, because the D cover is going to be the hardest to get. It's only going to his channel members that are Ultra Mac or above, and they pay $100. So, or not his channel members, but his website members. So, those are going to be the hardest to get. Those are going to be worth the most. But B cover, and if you look at the sales, A cover are definitely going to be worth the most. But B cover has the most verbal likes, but A cover has the most sales. So there you go. And the one that gets the least sales, believe it or not, is going to be the one worth the most. The way comic books work. Because if there's an even number out there, then they're going to be worth about the same. But I'm imagining that every single Rippaverse book is going to do better than the last one. Like, there's not going to be a downward spiral anytime soon with it. Especially if the first book is amazing. Yes, once the book gets into people's hands, that's why I got a jump start on this channel, because I already know. I tried to do a Star Wars channel a few years ago, and I was already. I mean, it was a Star Wars D&D channel, and it was blown out of the water. Like I couldn't even get 10 subs because I wasn't talking about the right kind of Star Wars, you know. I was talking about the D&D game and trying to teach people to play the D&D game. So, yes, it's going to be Action Comics #1. It's going to be, this is our generation's big comic, right? And it's going to push Cyberfrog and all that other stuff up just because of that, right? Indie comics are going to get a huge boom from it. Except for Black Sands, apparently. Because, dude done fucked up. But, yeah. So, this is going to be our Marvel #1, right? Our Action Comics #1. Detective Comics #1. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be as big as any of those. And probably bigger, just because there's more people that know that, you know, comics are worth money now. So, can you imagine how many Action Comic #1s ended up in a landfill? I know a guy who bought his house. He bought his house from his parents. Okay? And opened up the wall, because there's a wall. Opened it up. He found all of his childhood comics stuffed in the wall. Okay? Like, for insulation. We're talking like Spider-Man #1, you know, a bunch of stuff just stuffed in this wall that were just shredded by rats and all kind of stuff. So, I mean, we're not gonna have to deal with that. So, these comics are here too. They're going to replace the old guard. Okay, the old guard will always be around in some fashion, just like the pulp comics never really went away. Even though you can't really find them. You can find reprints all day long, but you can't really find the old ones. Sword Sorcery comics, you know, Zorro, all that stuff. They keep trying to bring that stuff back. It hasn't been forgotten, but it's, you know, if Batman is in a movie theater and Zorro is in a movie theater right there, which one are you going to go watch? Probably Zorro now, but, you know, 5 years ago it would have been Batman. Unless it's the Antonio Banderas, you know, Zorro. But, I mean, wonder if oh, definitely. There's definitely going to be a speedster. There's 100% going to be a speedster. I don't have any doubts about that. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, for real. I was looking at that too. I'm probably going to get a copy of that later. I'm not doing it right now, but money's tight. But hey, if this channel blows up to where I'm monetized, that's, you know, that's great. I don't really care if it does or not. That's not what this is about. Yeah, sure, I got to jump on it to be the first one through the gate, but I mean, the pie's not fixed. Somebody can make a better channel than me, you know, and I'll congratulate them if they do. You know, I don't have any hard feelings. I don't mind starting a new channel and doing something else. Or, you know, Lord, really, you know, this, I'm not going to have to with this, though. I don't think so. Because, like I said, the pie's not fixed, but I'm not going to have to ever retire this channel just because there's always going to be something to talk about. Right? So, yeah, it's all about that. And, like, they kicked us out of our sandbox, right? Because that sandbox belonged to us. They kicked us out of it, just like Eric was saying earlier today. You know, we tried to fight for it, but that didn't do us any good. So, Eric decided to build us a new sandbox. Yeah, we've got our sandbox now. And it doesn't matter, you know, we're going to protect this sandbox. You know, it's going to be generations before we ever have to worry about losing this one. Unless something happens and, you know, for some reason the Rippaverse is dead in the water. And I don't think that's going to happen. Like, there's too many people wanting something new to replace the old. Because the old is trash now. Greatest quote in Hunter x Hunter is from Hisoka. And he says, it only takes seconds for treasure to turn into trash. Right? And that's how it is for a lot of us. Like, a lot of us are sitting here and we can forgive certain things up to a point. But when it's every single movie, every single thing that comes out, it's just worse than the thing before it. Right? We stop forgiving. And eventually everybody just says, okay, I'm done with this. They keep calling it the rip-off. Yeah, they're trying to... Rippa's ripping off Zod. And he's, you know... All his characters are rip-offs. They're not. They're, you know... Originality can't exist. If you want proof of that, watch any anime ever. Just any of them. Right? You could be a completely 100% original. As long as you are grounded and you stick to the rules of your universe. Yeah, rip off of superheroes, that's what they try to say. They're trying to find similarities between the characters, you know, to try to say, oh, well, Ripper ripped off... Mr. Terrific was my favorite one that somebody said that he ripped off. Because that was just stupid. Pure stupidity. But yeah, I do want to expand this channel later, and cover like other independent properties that are good. But right now, I'm focusing purely on Rippaverse, and just to make sure that I'm focused on this, right? So channel video every day, even if it's just me bitching about Twitter. I don't care, right? They can't cancel me. I don't give a fuck. So yeah, My Hero Academia, but that was going back to what I was saying, like originality, right? So those characters are original, even if they're kind of based off of like All Might being based off of Golden Age Superman, right? So he's based on that, but it's completely original way of doing it. I always thought of My Hero Academia as X-Men if Magneto won, right? It's just the future of the Marvel Universe if Magneto won. But that's one of them that shows that people are hungry for something new too, because it also subverts everything that the old shonen comics do. Like All Might and Endeavor, they're like the old guard, right? They're the old generation. They're the old shonen heroes, and then the kids are the new generation. So, yeah, but completely unique, right? Anime shows that you can be completely unique with something. You don't have to settle to the American standard of doing things, which is, trash right now. It's a trash fire. Like, I will be the first one to defend the first season of Mandalorian. Okay, I will. I even cosplay as an adult version of Baby Yoda. But that's beside the point. Star Wars is trash now. Kenobi proved that they're not willing to fix anything. Marvel has been trash. DC's been trash since New 52. Dark Horse has never been a substantial universe all on its own. It's been separated stories. So, let's see. Right, yeah, you can't rip off superheroes that have become a genre all to their own, yeah. Yeah, it is its own thing. My Hero Academia is 100% its own thing. And I think that Rippaverse is going to be as well. That's why I'm not comparing any character that I've seen so far to any other character, specifically, other than saying that, okay, so like my Death in the Universe theory video, I go over Cloak Guy's powers, well, like what he could be, and I said he could be a Thanos. He could be more like Mamra than from the Thundercats, right? Because he's a little skinny dude, but he seems like he could be a bigger threat. He could also be like the Collector. I don't really know, but I'm just taking a wild guess at what he could be, and oh, well, thank you, man. My mic is plenty good. That's just I'm sitting far back from it because I don't want to touch it right now. Yeah, my other videos are trash just because of my mic messing up. So I've fixed that for the most part. I don't know how it sounds right now, but I'm gonna go back and listen to this when I'm done. Just to make sure. I know I was sounding like a robot earlier. So, But yeah. So I mean, I don't think Eric has to rip off anything. I mean, he can use powers are powers, right? So anybody can have super strength. Anybody can fly. Anybody can shoot lasers. If you combine all three of those, you've got Superman, right? If you use just one of those, you've got Cyclops or the Hulk. You know, so any powers can be used, and any new powers can be created, or any combination can be used to make new powers. Like, I don't talk about this one a lot, but I created a system in D&D that was basically, it was a superhero system, sort of. But it was using World of Darkness mechanics, and it was basically the children of fairy tales versus Cthulhu. That was the story, right? And I had to make up mechanics for this game because everybody was playing something different. And I don't talk a lot about D&D on this channel because it's not a D&D channel, but my other channels are definitely more D&D centric as far as that goes. But yeah, it's just, I think that any power can be uniquely utilized. It doesn't matter what the power is. Like, what separates the Hulk from the Thing? One's made of rocks, one of them's big and green and stronger. And he gets stronger as he gets angrier. Well, what separates the Hulk from Maul from Wildcats? Well, Maul gets bigger, so he's got an Ant-Man type thing. So he gets bigger when he gets angry. And he gets stupider when he gets angry. So he'll turn into a giant until he shuts his brain off. But otherwise, he's just a big purple Hulk. And yes, he looks like Kronk from Dexter's Laboratory in a bodysuit. But any of these powers can be used, and I can't wait to see what Eric does with it, because Marvel and DC have never been my favorite universes. It's always been like Wildstorm, or I don't want to say Invincible, because Invincible is kind of just a parody. It's kind of a knockoff, and everybody there is kind of a knockoff of somebody or somebody else. But they're done in a unique way. They're interesting enough characters, but it's never been my favorite universe. The Boys is definitely a knockoff. You know, it's. What's up, Yara? We've actually got a Rippaverse character in. Shout out. Yes, exactly. And it's not the powers that make the character, it's the character that makes the character. 100%. So, and a lot of the things today with today's is the stupidest thing ever. So they'll come up with a character name, like, oh, let's go with Snowflake and Safe Space. Safe Space creates force fields. Okay, I'm glad these characters never saw the light of day, but Snowflake was basically snow, ice powers. Okay, yeah, that's terrible. It's terrible. 20 years ago, those characters would have probably been great, but you know, you made fun of yourself. So trying to reclaim words that oh. Peter Darker rockin' Jays, yep. Oh. Oh, yep. 100%. And I've said this before for some of my other listeners that have heard me say this. Like, Black Panther was my favorite character before Ta-Nehisi Coates got his hands on him. Okay? Yeah. Like, You want the receipts? I got the receipts. You know, the Black Panther. I've got Black Panther shirts. I've got action figures. Everything. Like, that was the one good thing that came out of the movie Black Panther was the merchandise. Oh. Yeah. People have been doing that fan art. Now, I've laughed at it every time. Like, Yara, her powers, we know there's a blue energy. She could be a fucking Saiyan. I've said that before, too. She could be a fucking Saiyan for all we know. But we've seen ice powers in the poster, I believe. Where she's got, like, ice snowflakes coming off her fingers. So, we can assume she's ice-based. Honestly, she's probably the Thor of this universe. If I had to take a guess. Recast T'Challa. You know what? I don't care if they do or don't. It's the way they did him in. I mean, this is really what turned me 100% against Marvel, and it was not like anything that came before this. It was What If. Okay. I could watch all the rest of the stuff. Period. I mean, I was even excited. I've downloaded Marvel's Avengers. Just one because it was free this month. I had it before, but I got it back. I downloaded it just to play Black Panther for a little while. You know, I'm bored, so. What drew me to Rippaverse Comics? I've been listening to Eric for years, so that's 100% what drove me to it. But I've been kind of slowly just getting out of Marvel and DC. Like, I haven't bought. The last Marvel comic I bought was the X-23 issues after she became Wolverine and then became X-23 again. I bought issue number 1 of that. I was buying comic books from auctions online, so I was just buying random comics all day long. And I bought the Ta-Nehisi Coates stuff for Panther, not knowing what it was, and then I read it, and I'm like, I hate it. So I stopped reading that completely. I've been picking up old issues, you know, instead. And then for DC, it was New 52. So I've been out of DC for a while. The movies just irritated the shit out of me, like every one of them. Starting with The Dark Knight Rises, and then I'm wishing for the days where we had The Dark Knight Rises again. You know, Joker was the one exception to that. Last one for me was The Death of Doctor Strange, number 1. See, I didn't read that. I don't know. I didn't read Doctor Strange a lot, but What If it was the turning point for me with the movies, with you know, the movies and all that stuff. And I remember it because, you know, like being a big Black Panther fan, and I'm a big Doctor Strange fan now, but I wasn't before. Like, I started reading, just picking up his comics, his old issues, and reading them. But it was every episode with T'Challa in it. Okay. Except for What If T'Challa was Star-Lord. Right. Every single episode. They do him wrong, right? The zombie episode. Like, they're doing exactly what they did in the comics with him. It's like, really, guys? Really? Yeah, y'all are gonna go with the full fucking comic, but you're gonna do it in this weird ass way of doing it? I don't respect you ripping it off at all. You know, I would rather read Marvel Zombies than Marvel Zombies was kind of god awful after the fact. But I watched Multiverse of Madness, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. Like, that's character assassination, the movie. But I was already done with Marvel before I even watched it. I bootlegged it, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't give Marvel anything. Right, yeah. Creating a character isn't enough. It needs to be coupled with a story you want to tell and dialogue that feels authentic. Yes. And that's one thing I'm hoping for with the Rippaverse, is that the characters feel like they're real people. You know what I mean? Like, so, I said this in a different... Yes, Marvel Zombies was done to death. Like, the first one and the One Shot were the only good ones, and the ultimate tie-in with the Fantastic Four was okay, but everything else was just trash. Yeah, New 52 was god-awful. What's bad is that New 52, the only really bad stories were the ones that involved the main characters. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and the thing is, Green Lantern and Batman did not lose most of their history. They kept most of it in New 52. But their stories were still... Aquaman was pretty good. Aquaman was actually pretty good in New 52. Deathstroke, the Deathstroke books were great. Voodoo was interesting, but being a Wildcats fan, I'm kind of like, I don't like a lot what you're doing with her. So, I like the design, and I like a couple other things about it. But when you get to the Hellspawn stuff is when it all gets really good, and then they drop the story. Like, that's the only good arc in the entire Superman stuff with New 52 was Hellspawn showing up. Hellspawn shows up one issue. He backhands Superman into the moon and gives him a concussion. Right? I mean, just backhands him into the moon. And gives Superman... And this is not... New 52 Superman is the second strongest Superman to ever exist. Okay? The first strongest is the Silver Age Superman, because he could wrestle, black holes and stuff closed. But New 52 was based on Mr. Majestic from Wildcats. He's the strongest Superman that has ever existed. And then you've got the baddest villain to ever walk DC Comics, and that's Hellspawn. Right? Darkseid does not stand a chance against Hellspawn. Hellspawn will break Darkseid in half. Easily. Okay. And I will argue this till the day I die. Like, Hellspawn would just destroy Darkseid in a fight. But so would Thanos in a straight up fist fight. I don't like the God Avatar Darkseid. Like, I hate that storyline because it's fucking stupid. Okay? Darkseid being what he was. You hated the romance between Wonder Woman and Superman. Okay. Yeah, I understood where they were going with it, but I didn't like any of the Justice League stuff at all. Like, other than, like, Aquaman. Because Aquaman, they made Aquaman interesting. Like, they kind of kept his history some, too. So, that helped a lot. But the Green Lantern stuff got weird. Batman was, like, half retarded in New 52. And it was written by people that didn't care about the characters then, not really. And Jim Lee kept trying to force the Wildcats characters into stories that they didn't fit in. Like the Mr. Majestic story with Team 7 was awful. But, Anyway, so I'm going back to what I was saying before. Like, I miss, like, characters that you can relate to based on their personalities. Right? So, there was an old saying in the 90s where with DC, you look up to the characters. You look up to Superman, you look up to Batman, you look up to Wonder Woman. With Marvel, you're looking at the characters, so you're relating to the characters, right? Nobody wants to look up to Superman when they can look at Spider-Man, right? Nobody wants to strain their necks. That was the whole thing. Yeah. Like, but I mean, you can't relate to any of them anymore. Like, Batman being an Antifa, you can't relate to Antifa Batman unless you're Antifa. That's just it. Like Batman and Superman are not there for you to relate to. They are there for you to look up to, right? They're gods. DC characters are gods, while oh yeah. The Dark Underworld themes is I can't wait to see those either. I've always liked the magic side of the universe. Magic side of the universe is anyway. Like I love the Sandman series. I'm not gonna watch the show, but I love the Sandman series. I've got almost every like story that's put together like this. So I'm not too concerned. You know, I could go back and read. I could have started a Sandman channel, and probably gotten more views than I'm getting with this. But I don't care about that. Like, this is for fun. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Cannot relate to a hero that becomes stupid because the plot requires it. That's 100% right, Yara. But or Yaira, however you say her name. I'll have to go look up the pronunciation of it, but it's I can't relate to stupid characters anyway. Like, to me, Thor: The Dark World was the best Thor movie that ever existed. Because it was the darker one. It was the one that fit more in line with the comics. And Thor was probably at his dumb smartest in Thor: The Dark World. It was a subjectively terrible ass movie, but it was the best Thor movie. Like, I don't like Kenobi really set me off for Star Wars. It set me off. I almost made a bunch of hate videos for it, and the only hate video I did make was me calling out Star Wars Twitter at 1 o'clock in the morning because they bullied some guy with 2 followers off social media. Like, it pissed me off. I did that one early, but I didn't have the following for anybody to really see it. But I did do that one pretty early. But that's the only one I made. I didn't talk about it. I was just, every episode I was sitting there like, I hate this. For every one good idea, there's 10 bad ones. And I could not handle that at all. Like, this is stupid. I hate it. I'm done. Right? 100% done with Star Wars. So, yeah. Hell, the Lord is one of the few people who actually saw that video when I put it out. But like, and like I said, I cosplay certain things, so I'm not gonna stop cosplaying them just because I hate what they're from now. That was the big problem with the Thor movie, Ragnarok. Is Ragnarok should not have been a joke at all. It should have been 100% serious, and they should not have mixed it with Planet Hulk. Like, they took 2 dark stories they turned them into a joke. Like, I don't like that. Yeah, The Last Jedi was the last one I saw in theaters as well. I didn't go watch. I have Rise of Skywalker on Blu-ray. I bought it for $1 at a thrift store, and that's the only time I've watched it. I watched it one time. I knew I would hate it, but I would hate watching it. So, yeah. So I'm sick of our fandom being destroyed, the same as Eric, and I'm working on my own stuff, but it's gonna be. I'm years away from that, so I might as well celebrate what we have, right? What we're getting. Yeah, the animated movie was good. It was really good. I'll praise it all day, but I've also got it on DVD and stuff, so I can watch it without having to get Disney Plus to watch it. I'm done with all that. Like I didn't take Eric's message to 51%. I know that's like the bare minimum. Like, no, I'm 100% done with all of them. It's just taking different points to get done with them. So, like, if I'm going to watch any of it, it's going to be, like, the old DVDs or something. Just a way that I'm not giving them money, period. Oh, God. Heir to the Empire. Yeah, you know what? I was actually calling it early on from... J.J. Abrams said that he was basing it on Heir to the Empire, or not Heir to the Empire, but the False Prince is what he said he was basing the first one on. And I'm like, oh my God, this trilogy is going to fucking suck, because that's the worst story in the EU, right? And then Rian Johnson did what he did, and then we got the shit show that was Rise of Skywalker, which is god awful. But I mean, this channel not really the bitch. It's not really a drama channel, and I don't want it to turn into that. I will handle drama all day if you guys want it, but at the same time, I don't want it to turn into that time of the channel. This is a celebration channel. Like, today is an off day, because I'm just like, I'm irritated as shit, because I'm reading all this retardation on Twitter about the Rippaverse being woke, and I'm like, are y'all retarded? Are you legitimately retarded? Because that's the only way you could believe that, if you've ever seen one of Eric's videos. So, I'm just like, how do you think that this is ever going to be woke? Like, there is no possible way that Eric would alienate his fans like that, right? There's no way. It could have a black guy and a woman in it and not be woke, but y'all don't understand that, because y'all are retarded. So, because y'all are retarded, sit down and shut the fuck up. Seriously, just like they don't believe that they're struggling for a narrative. Yeah, they don't have a clue what to do. They're just trying to, like, say, oh no, Rippaverse will never compete with Marvel and DC. You don't know the history of Marvel and DC then. And this is when they were objectively good, right? Or subjectively at least good. Comics. Yeah, every time I hear Heir of the Empire, I know we're talking about Thrawn. And then my brain automatically goes to the False Prince. Because just the titles, you know. Every time I think of that horrible story, the False Prince. And then they basically made a terrible adaptation of a terrible EU story. Like, that's what it was. I knew that Rey was a Palpatine from day one because of that. Damn. I'm getting choked in here. You talking about the red-headed guy with the braids? Yeah, he's probably going to be a Thor type character. Anyway, he might be the Wonder Woman of this, for all anybody knows. You know, he might be that ancient warrior type like Thor. You know, or oh, thank you. You don't remember? Okay, The False Prince was like a kid's novel that was released. It had Palpatine's son, and he was deformed. Right? I don't remember the story exactly, but it involved Palpatine's son, and he was deformed. I may be calling it the wrong name, but it was a stupid little story that just was god awful. They didn't. J.J. Abrams knew though. Like nobody actually knew because they were bouncing between Kenobi, you know, Palpatine and all that. But J.J. Abrams using The False Prince, it kind of tells you, you know, that he was leaning towards that. Yeah. And see, I actually liked the nobody. Like, the Ryan Johnson calling her a nobody and all that stuff, like, from the desert. Like, that was a better story. That's the only good thing that came out of it, you know, decent thing that came out of that movie, but, you know, that one made more sense to me. Like, her just being a nobody that became force sensitive, you know. The novelization's terrible too. Like, but yeah, I'm not a fan of any of that stuff anymore. I'll keep my old stuff and I'll read my old comics, you know, because I still love them. But yeah, the only thing that Ryan did right, yeah. But he did that shit on purpose. He wanted to split the fan base in half. And it was a fan base that was already fractured by Disney buying it, right? The Star Wars fandom has always been just fractured and broken. It broke the first time with the prequels. It broke again when Clone Wars came out. It broke again with Force Awakens. And then it got shattered completely. That got shattered completely in half with Last Jedi. And then nobody even gave a fuck about Rise of Skywalker. Like, nobody. Anybody that says it's good is stupid. I'm sorry, but they are. They don't have any taste if they think that's a good movie. I've seen better movies on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm buying them. I'm about going to have to with having this channel. I want my posters so I can, you know, cover all this wallpaper up. I'm going to poster bomb this whole wall with Rippaverse posters whenever they get released. And I might do it with the cards, but I'll probably put the cards up somewhere just because of the price tag on them. But, you're aiming for cover C? Well, cover C, luckily you can get cover C throughout the entire run, you know. I'm gonna get cover B, and then I'll go back and get cover C. So that's how I'm gonna handle that. Is like I'm gonna get cover B tonight, and then go back and get cover C later, and then cover C will be my multiple read copy. Like, it'll be the one that I read the most of. I'm going to read the B cover one time, because I'm not going to wait forever to read the other one, to read it. But I'm going to read it one time and put it up. And then C cover will be my reader copy. Yeah, Alpha Core. I like the design of Alpha Core. I've done a video which is entirely horrible sound on it, so I may have to redo that one in the future. But like Alpha Core are really interesting to me because they make me think of Hydra, right? And then I'm thinking, like, okay, well, Eric likes Resident Evil, so, and they're Chris Redfield green is their color, so, you know, maybe they might be like a super powered alpha team from Resident Evil, you know, something like that. That might be more inspiration than, yeah, the cards have extra info, and that's probably why I'm going to get them. And then I'll be able to theorize better than just going off shooting from the hip like I've been doing. Once I know a little bit more about the universe, I'll be able to come up with other stuff. And I'm going to start reading like other people's theories too. During my theory videos, just now that I got my sound situation under control. Yeah, they seem like, I wouldn't say state-sponsored bad guys. I would say state-sponsored heroes, but they are probably, like, neutral. And they could just be their own thing, you know, like, and they may not be with the government. I like how none of the heroes so far have symbols, right? Like, they don't have... Awesome doesn't have a big eye on his chest, or, you know, something representing his powers. Yara doesn't have a symbol on her chest either. There's no logos for anybody. I like that. Yeah, they seem to be heroes. I'm leaning towards that. They're the Trinity. Like they're the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman of the world, more than anything. But I'm thinking that the girl doesn't have powers. I'm thinking she's got the whips only. And then I'm like, well, the big guy with the hairdo, he could be like a Punisher type character. He kind of favors Frank Castle, you know, just a little bit. He could be like a Superman Punisher type character. Yeah, they've got a bad relationship with Awesome. That's definitely... Yeah, the cross on his belt. I wouldn't call that a symbol specifically. That's just, you know, that's not like a logo that's on his chest, right? And it might be, you know, it could be like the symbol he chose was just the cross, you know, but like it's not. He don't wear a big cross on his chest and shit like that, like say Superman or Batman would, you know. Well, there's Visor Man, and you know, Visor Man supremacy is a thing, so like, does the visor count as a mask? What I'm figuring is that a lot of the heroes are public. Like, they don't have secret identities. Holy shit. Okay. That's a lot of messages just popped up at one time that I can't read because of the background here. Oh. Okay, well. Yeah, most of the characters are going to use their normal names. See, that's an old thing that Stan Lee hated secret identities, and I think Ripa's kind of taking that because DC, all of them had secret identities at the time. So, and Stan Lee hated secret identities, so that's why he gave the Fantastic Four their real names, and that's why within the universe itself, the Fantastic Four are the most trusted heroes, right? So that's an old Stan Lee thing. I'm glad that the alliteration is not there with the characters for sure. Yeah, I mean this channel is here to be a voice for the fandom. You know what I mean? Like, I already know that there's people watching my videos and that know that I exist, you know, that are tied to it. So, but I'm here to be a voice of the fandom here. You know, that's it. I'm leaning towards 90s image feel to it, like Wildcats, and it looks like Rebirth, you know, because he hired Gabe, you know, so it has the Rebirth kind of look to it, a more modern look to it, but it's gonna have the feel of old comics, and that's what I'm looking for. Like, that's why I was going into it yesterday with my video. Like, the Yara cover, that's why one of the reasons it was so popular is because it had two people fighting on the cover of it like an old comic would. That's something that happens in the comic. And I was just covering this yesterday. Like, the psychology of why people buy comics. Buy specific covers. And it's like the Yara cover feels like a classic cover, while the A cover feels like a newer, more modern cover, right? It has an iconic look, but it's a very specific time period look. While the Yara cover, it has more of a 80s, 90s look to it. Well, the hero's fighting somebody on the cover. That's classic cover look. That I really enjoy that. Oh yeah, no, Asim's not gonna be. Asim might not be top 10, but he's gonna be. He's just a flagship character. Yeah, I mean, like I was covering this yesterday, and I don't know, somebody hit me up on my Twitter today, and they're like, who cares? You know, like, because I had posted this yesterday talking about why people choose the covers that they choose, and then the guy posted, he's like, well, who cares? And I'm like, I do. You know, I like the psychology of it. I like understanding why people do things, and I broke it down yesterday, and I'm like, okay, well, this is more like the A cover, right? This one is this is a 90s cover, but it's more like the A cover. It's got the main character standing there with the other characters in the background. That's A cover. Oh yeah. I'm leaning towards gravity on Asim's powers. That's my theory so far, but I haven't seen anything that changes that. Oh yeah, I love comic book art myself. That's why, like, I'm showcasing it. I'm showing like all the covers. I'm gonna do at least one of those every time we get a new book. You know, I'm gonna show all the covers. I'm gonna go through it, just talk about why somebody might buy this cover over this cover, right? Virgin covers are my favorite. You know, they don't have any words on them or anything like that. They are just blank. Like, for those of you that didn't see my video yesterday, you know, this is a Virgin cover, okay? Like, these are wall art, okay? You frame these and you put these up. That's what these are. And those are the best covers to me. Hands down, there's nothing better than them. Or lenticulars. Yeah, there's no power graphics in the art or anything like it. The only thing I've seen, and this is what's making me lean towards Gravity, is in a lot of Isam's promo art, there's rocks flying around him, like he's powering up, and you know, in Dragon Ball Z, and the rocks are flying up. Oh yeah, if Rippa releases some Virgin covers for these, shit, we'll never even get them because they're going to be so hard to fucking get. Like, Virgin covers are going to be. But you also have to have a very specific art style with Virgin covers too. Otherwise, it just looks terrible with some. Like the Yara cover would make a perfect Virgin cover. The the A cover would make a perfect Virgin cover, but the C cover wouldn't, because the C cover has Isam and he looks like he's running away from the Alpha Core, and it's not that. I love the cover. It's just it doesn't look right for a Virgin cover, if that makes sense. But yeah, but like, I mean, this dude was just hating because I'm like, yeah, I like it. I like to know why people buy what they buy. Like, I like to know which cover is somebody's favorite, and I want to know why that's their favorite. Because I like psychology. I like the idea of knowing what people are thinking, you know, or why they would pick something like that. And I've watched a lot of comic book auctions in the past, and I've seen the Virgin covers outsell anything else other than something that's rare, right? So first appearances, stuff like that, of old characters, they sell the most, but they're also hard to get. If a new comic is released with a new character in it that's never been seen before, then it usually sells out no matter what it is. Like, I have the first issue with Null, the Venom God. You know, I have the first issue with him, and I've got a Virgin cover, and it's a black and white Virgin whatever cover, you know, and I paid $60 for this cover. That's why I get mad when people bitch about the $35 price tag on Rippas, right? Because $35 is not a lot to pay. Oh yeah. Yeah, the Yara shirt image would make an excellent Virgin cover. It would make an excellent poster. Like, I want to see some more posters. That's what I want to see, because I do collect comic book posters as well. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything y'all like, especially if you follow me on Twitter, like, if y'all see anything that I should report on, just tag me in it. It's at Darkish Timeline. Tag me in it, and man, I'll try to cover it. I'm doing this every day, and I don't have a lot of material until the comic comes out. So I'll gladly talk about anything on this channel. I don't really care. It's like, Oh, y'all want to start a Star Wars conversation? We've already done that. We can do it again. I don't mind it. I'll talk about old comics. My whole thing is, I'm a voice for the fandom. 100%. Oh, well. I'm waiting on all of us to get banned from Twitter, but... I mean, you can also hit me up. I've got a Rippaverse Reddit page. You can hit me up in the comments here. I mean, if you got something that you think I should cover, hit me up. I will probably read it. Or my mods will read it. And then they can hit me up on Twitter or whatever. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to do one of those a week if more fan art shows up. Like I'm already collecting the fan art for next week's. I'm gonna try to do that like I said once a week. Yeah, I mean Awesome might be a Street Fighter character. I'm gonna do fan art, and sometimes I'll be doing drawing streams. I'll be doing stuff like that just to not be bored, right? Because I may get on here and I may draw fan art of for myself, or work on the statue. I haven't done that in a few days. I may come on here and work on the statue some, and I don't know if you guys know this, but so when I get to 100 subs, I'm printing off the Rippaverse symbol, and I'm going to print it as an actual hat with the lightning bolts and everything coming off of it. I'm going to print it off. I'm going to print 3 of these, and only 3 of these. One of them is for me. I'm going to send one to Eric, and then one of you get to take one home. So I'm at 75 subscribers right now. Yesterday I was at 30. So if you are a subscriber, I will let y'all know when to give me your names and all that stuff, because I don't have all of my subscribers' names. For some reason, some of them are hidden from me. But I'll let y'all know when to give that to me, and y'all just post it in the comments, and one of my mods will send it to Twitter, or I'll check it, and then I'm gonna do a live drawing on the air, and I'll get your information and mail it to you if you win. But I want to do that. I've got a 3D printer. I can make a bunch of stuff that you just can't get yet. So that is the first prize for getting to 100. I'm gonna have to find something else for when I get to 500 and 1,000. But yes, I'm only printing 3 of them. There will only be 3 in existence. They will be wearable, but they won't be comfortable. So, that's just... Yeah. So, definitely, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You help the channel by doing that. I don't really care about being monetized, but it would be good. It'd be a good thing for the channel. So... And y'all can also follow me on Twitch at the Darkish Timeline, all one word. And I'll play on there every now and then. I do a D&D game over there. Yeah. I can show it to you if you want. If you guys want to see it, let me pull it up. I'll show you what I've designed. I haven't printed it yet because I'm waiting till I get to 100 before I waste the plastic. If I tap out at 99, I'll feel like I've been defeated. But I'm hoping that I can, just get this channel going, because I'm the first Rippaverse fan channel, and I know I won't be the last. But I just want to get ahead of the curve, because my other channel's dead in the water as far as that goes. So it just seemed like a thing to do. But let me see here. All right. Where are you at? Where are you hiding? Mm-hmm. Well, if it will appear on my list here. Let's try to add a new one. See if that'll work. I broke it. Do. Add new source. Streamlabs, quit being a pain in my ass. Damn it. Damn it, Bobby. Alright, apparently it's not going to let me load it. So. I'll have to figure it out. I'll probably have to close it and get it back here. I can make them. Just I haven't started them yet. That may be a good thing to give out at 500 is a whole collection of Rip Version minis. Yeah, Streamlabs fucking hates me. Because I paid for it for like a month and then I quit paying for it. So it hates me now because of that. Like, hey, all these features will come back if you just pay. Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it's this right here, you know, that symbol right there, I'm going to 3D print it. And it's going to be a full-size hat. It might be a little small or a little tight depending on how the printer acts, but, you know, it's not going to be wearable. Don't try to wear it. It'll cut the shit out of your head. But it'll be a good desk ornament or whatever you want. You know, it'll be something unique, one of a kind. And, oh, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. I'll show you kind of the size it'll be. Oh, look at this. So, oh, wrong one. Oh, let's see. Fuck you, Streamlabs. Okay, so this is going to be about the size it'll be. Like normal hat size, you know, it's comparable to it. But it is not comfortable. Like, something like this, you know. You can wear it, but it is not comfortable. Is the point of fantasy... Oh, let me get closer where I can read that. The question is the point of fantasy is that it isn't realistic. Depends on the type of fantasy. Like dark fantasy, like say Game of Thrones, is supposed to be more realistic. Low magic setting or high magic setting, it all depends. I would say if you go towards a low magic setting and you're doing like historical, like Game of Thrones, for most of it, other than Daenerys' crap, you know, you got a mostly realistic stuff happening. With Lord of the Rings, it should not be realistic at all. So yeah, it depends on the fantasy. If you ask me for realism in Dungeons and Dragons, you don't want that. If you play in my games, you don't want that. You don't want to ask for that. Because we're going to be playing Dark Suns. Or survival mode, hard mode, D&D. Where you've got to, eat and drink or you'll die. Yeah, in regards to the rules of the universe. Definitely. 100%. Because that's the way, but it has to be, depending on the rules of the universe, There's realism, there's a realism filter, and then there's realistic. So, realism is like the Christian Bale Batman movies, right? That's a realism filter on a movie, right? So it's supposed to be realistic to a point, and the point where it's the most realistic is in The Dark Knight Rises, where Batman retires after 3 years. Yes, yeah, exactly. You got retarded renegade angel. Yes. Stoner fantasy is not fantasy. It's yeah, Harry Potter is some of the best. I love the Magicians, like the TV show and the books. I love the Magicians, and it's like Harry Potter but in college, and it's bound by its own rules. So if you've never seen The Magicians, it's on Netflix. Watch it. Like, I will never tell anybody not to watch The Magicians. Like The Magicians is probably the best type of in that genre for like Harry Potter stuff. To me, anyway. It got canceled on Sci-Fi after 4 seasons. Fuck them. Yes. Okay, if you could get past one specific scene in the first season, then the rest of it's pretty easy to get through. Just one scene is rough. Is it woke on Netflix? No, I would say it's not woke. Some of the characters are, but they're not. They are some of the most realistically written characters I've ever seen in a show. Like, as far as that goes, at least the first season for sure. Yeah, it was on Sci-Fi first, so there's not a lot of woke shit in it. Believe it or not, it's just I mean, they only walked the line that was on sci-fi, right? It wasn't like it was anything that was about the show, and they weren't trying to walk the line specifically. They were trying to stay in line with the books. So the first, they don't get to Fillory until like the second book, and they go beyond the books, but it's not like, say, Game of Thrones did, which was fucking terrible after season 5. You know, it just constantly went downhill. Hey! It double Keanu's. If they would have stuck with the books more, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. And you know, there's some scenes that are just retarded in it, but what show doesn't have retarded scenes? The overall plot is good, and it follows away from the Monster of the Week formula, so I like that. Like, I don't know how anybody watched Supernatural past season 5. I watched some of it, but I couldn't keep up with it. 15 seasons is way too much for me to go back and watch now. But I haven't seen The Expanse. No, I've kind of been see, what's it? As soon as that fades away so I can read it. My chat box is not doing me any good, guys. Chat box is doing me no good whatsoever. Canon and continuity, what's the reports all about? You damn right. Well, the good thing is that this is a brand new universe, so it's going to take a little while to build before we know if anything makes sense or not. Yeah, he's learned from their mistakes for sure. And he reads, and he at least watches anime, you know. So that's a plus. Like, DC and Marvel are just full-on parodies of themselves now, so they're nothing like anything I grew up with. When the best comic to come out in the past 15 years from Marvel is The King in Black, then that tells you a lot. You know, Venomverse and The King in Black. When Venom is the best comic book in Marvel, somebody needs to be slapped. I'm just saying. Like, that should never happen. Venom should not be the best, story-wise. And I was saying this, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I'm like, there's no excuse for The Boys to be better than Marvel. There's no excuse for the third season of The Boys to be better than anything on Marvel that Marvel is coming out with, comic book or otherwise. There's no excuse for it. The Boys is satire. It should not be better. It is somehow, and it should not be better. Invincible, the animated series, should not be better than anything coming out of DC or Marvel right now. It shouldn't be, especially the first season. Later seasons, I can see it, but the first arc there, the Omni-Man arc, should not be better, but it is. Especially when like a lot of us have read the Invincible comics, so we know what's going on. We know what's happening. We know what's about to happen. Everything, and it's like, this shouldn't be a thing, right? The first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead should not be better than anything coming out of Marvel and DC. They are, for some fucking reason. They are. The Umbrella Academy season 1 should not be better. I won't give season 2 that credit, and I won't give season 3 that credit. They go off the rails with season 2 and 3, but maybe, yeah, maybe he does. Super Saiyan awesome. I can see it. Now that might be a really cool thing that Eric could incorporate, or like shonen protagonist transformations for each character, instead of them just having one base power. Like, what if they don't have different power sets? What if they're all the same power set or similar power sets, and they transform? Like, I haven't even entertained that idea, but because American comic, not manga, but yeah, anything's possible. Like, that's the great thing about this universe. We have no clue what's going to happen. We have no clue anything about it, right? Other than what we've been told, and unless we buy the cards, we're not gonna know everything when the book comes out, and then we're still gonna be a little bit lost, because it's gonna, depending on how long the first arc is, we're not gonna know everything anyway. And this is just the beginning. It's gonna be a few years down the line before we're even actually we'll be able to theorize and stuff after the first book, but after, we can theorize all we want, which is part of the fandom. It's the amazing part of the fandom, the fan art and all that. I love it. Alright? I love being a part of a comic book community again that hasn't lost its shit. Okay? Like, we got outsiders that have lost their shit instead of us, right? Like, when because that's the first sign that a universe is, that's the second sign that a universe is about to die. I said the first sign is a crossover. The second sign that a universe is about to die is the fans start splitting, right? The fan base cannot agree on an objectively good or bad story. Okay? So, we'll take the Star Wars prequels, for example. The prequels were objectively good stories with bad parts to them. Okay? So, there's a bunch of comedy, and then there's the actual story. The political stuff in Star Wars in the prequel was actually really good. The Jar Jar stuff and the George Lucas dialogue was not great, but it was still better than so if he's been working on it for 7 years and he's got his universe Bible down, he knows where it's going to go. And but that's a really long time to work on characters, right? 7 years. So I have no doubts that it's going to be good. It may be different than anything we're used to, but it could also be very much the same as we knew before. And I don't know which way it's going to go. It doesn't really matter which way it goes. It could be good either way. But that's the one way that a universe dies, is that the fans get split apart, right? And we let them split us apart. That's the key thing. Yeah, that, like, stupid. That's, yeah. I mean, that's an old method to do it too. He plans everything out, but anything can change depending on what is. Like, he found out real quick that Yara was going to be popular, so he seemed a little. He didn't seem as surprised by that, but he did seem a little surprised by it. So, based on that, Yara is probably going to get her own comic book just because of that. So, but yes, only terrible writers take away powers off panel. Which is another thing I want to talk about, like off-screen, off-panel canon. Like, so we know that Awesome has a past. We know that, right? He's got a past as a superhero. So that is off-panel canon that we don't know yet, right? So Eric's probably going to go back and tell that in another story. That's an old trick too, to tell an origin story, but get your character established first. So, and that's one of the better ways to do it, because then you've got people theorizing what that past was. So, hold on. You think the Reaper dude created the accepts? Well, that's possible. Yeah. Probably. She was probably going to, but she's definitely going to get one now. As far as that goes. Like, there's no doubts about her getting her own book now. I figure all 11 characters that have a card about them are probably going to get a book at some point. Oh, Yara number 1 is going to break the internet. When we get a Yara number 1, that is going to break the fucking internet. We know this. We have seen it before. That Rippaverse site will not survive for a few days. I mean, it's going to break the fucking internet. When that happens, we know that. Like, there is no ifs, ands, buts about it. And the shithole that is Twitter will still be the shithole that is Twitter. Like, what's up, Based Mando? Oh yeah, Flash was in here before the stream started. What's up, I am? Let's see. Oh, hey, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I wanted to be the first through the gate with this, because I was telling them earlier, like, I started a Star Wars channel a couple years ago, but there were so many Star Wars channels at the time, and I was doing a D&D channel. I was trying to be different than the rest of them, but I could not get anything in. I couldn't get 10 subs because of that, right, at the time. So I've tried different ones before. This one is, my God, it blew up in just a couple of days. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. I already got to pick mods just to be able to cover myself, because I wasn't expecting it to blow up so fast. I wasn't expecting to get called out, get a shout out in Tuesday Night Main Event either. So oh yeah, my fan art video. I'm gonna be doing one of those a week if people create more fan art for it. Like if I get enough fan art to do one, I'm gonna be trying to do one of those every week. I'm doing videos every day, man. Like Eric did before. I'm gonna be putting out content every single day, and some days it's gonna be like this one right here, where I start off just bitching about Twitter. I don't think anybody knows about the Reaper guy just yet. If they do, they work for him. Right, yeah, don't forget the abilities of characters just for... It's like Saturday morning cartoon villains, right? There's no reason that any of them should have ever lost, other than stupidity. Yeah, if you haven't, check out my Reaper guy theory video about death in the universe, about how it's going to matter. Like that's one of the... That's my first theory, is that death matters in the universe. Oh yeah. Teasing him at the end. Yeah, I mean, if you want to make some, man, I've got a Twitter channel, and I'm also on the Reddit page. I don't have a Facebook or anything set up yet for this, but I'm working on a website right now for like a forum type thing, so people can post directly to that, and I don't have to go to Twitter to get everything together on there. So that's a week or two out. I haven't had time to work on it, but I'm trying to get all of the fandom. You know, this channel is to be a voice for the fandom. So if y'all got anything y'all want me to talk about, hit me up. Let me know. You can ask Yellow Spider Guy there. He mentioned something about my sound in some of my earlier videos, and I went and immediately fixed it. Other than the first of this one, because that was terrible. But I'm trying to not only be the first Rippaverse channel, I want to be the best. I want to be the Star Wars theory of this space of the internet. So that's cool. I've been doing some 3D modeling myself. Like I'm when I get to 100 subs, I'm giving away the Rippaverse hat. So I'm gonna 3D print 3 of them, and I'm giving one of them away to one of my subscribers when I get to 100. So. Yeah. I did too. Finally, I print cosplay, so I can never really 100% be done with Star Wars because I have to print Mandalorian helmets and stuff like that for other people. So, but as far as the new Disney stuff that's coming out, I'm not interested. You know, I'll do my fandom the way I've done it. Disney doesn't get any money from cosplays that I make, so you know, like I do an adult Baby Yoda cosplay as one of them, but like as far as anything story related, I don't care anymore. I'm done with it. I don't care enough to review it. I don't care enough to torture myself to try to watch Kenobi again. Oh, Kenobi was straight up retarded. Like, Kenobi was just god-awful. I watched it, and then I'm like, I can see where that would be a good idea. And then there's 10 bad ideas that follow it in the same exact episode. And I'm like, okay, well, you're slowly just making me not care anymore. Well, thanks for the subscription. DCC. Let's see. Stakes, tension, conflict. Yeah. Like, that Vader fight had no excuse being bad. They had no excuse for it. They had no excuse for the entire show. But yeah, exactly. I have faith in Rippa, you know, to not fuck us over. Yellow Spider Guy, do you support Comicsgate? Partially. Yeah, it's a movement. I do support like what they stand for. Like, put like I don't support any individual one, but I do support them as a group and what they do together. What's up, Jimmy? I guess it's Jimmy. I can barely read the writing on the screen. So yeah, I'm working on my own comic, but it's going to be a few years out. I've got a little unique premise to it, but it's not a comic book killer. It's not a like a superhero comic. It's a what I call a vertigo killer. So, like Sandman, stuff like that. It kind of falls into that vein of comics, but it's not coming out for years. I've got to I haven't even put it to paper yet. I've got the story and I've got it kind of, some of it wrote out, but I don't have it all. Yeah. Hey, if you want to, man, that's fine. Like I said, I've got to. Once I get to 100 subs, I'm giving away a hat. So, or it's a 3D printed Rippaverse symbol hat. So. Yeah, subscribe all you like, man. I'm trying to. If I can get this thing monetized, cool. If not, okay, I'm still going to be putting it out every day. So it'll eventually monetize itself. But if I don't get a single other follower, I'm still going to put it out every day. Because like I said, I'm this channel's to be the voice of the fandom here. So we can bitch, we can argue, we can discuss, whatever. That's what this is for. Is for us. And even when I'm monetized and everything, I'll still be reading some of the chat. You know, at least from my earliest followers, for sure. You know. Oh yeah. Like I said, it'll come organically. I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about it at all. It don't matter if I have one sub or a million subs. I'm not the type of person that changes. You know, I'm gonna be here doing what I do every single day if I can. Now there's some exceptions to that, you know, that'll come up, but I'm doing it 7 days a week right now. I started last Thursday. Like, yes, but not right now. I think that the kids. Thank you, Leo Slayer. I think that the kids are going to come later, and if you go watch my death video, like Death in the Rippaverse, it goes over my theory about how people, if he decides to kill off characters, it's going to matter. They're going to be permanently dead if he kills them off, and that will give leeway to the new generation to come in. I don't know if he's going to have sidekicks in it, but I figure there will be kid characters at some point. Oh, that would be hilarious if there's just some random kid named Peter Darker in it. I figured it out. I just need your a link, the URL to your YouTube channel, and I can add you as a mod. Like, I tried to add you by name yesterday, and then I read it, and it says you got to have the URL. So if you'll send, I sent you a message on Twitter. Just respond to me there, and I'll get you set up. Hey, I appreciate it, Yellow Spider guy. Yeah, no, this one, other than last night, this channel has grown completely organically. Last night I was at 36 followers, so 36 subs, and now I'm at I was at 75 when I started. Yeah, I'm not concerned about any of it really. It's just, this is all for fun. 79. I'm at 79. Hell yeah. Okay. I'll walk you through it later, man. You really just go over to the top right, and you'll see your icon there. Click on it, and then click my channel, and then go to it'll be at the top left, and it'll be the same symbol. It'll say view my channel. You click on that, and that's how you do it. And just give me the link at the top of it. Send it to me on Twitter. Yes, I saw the Mo Bitches meme, and I approve of it. Oh yeah, and that's kind of how I built it to do, is just to blow up with like next month, man. I'm expecting just a shit ton of people, like organically. Like I got a little shout out last night, and I've gained 50 followers, 50 subs. Goddamn, Twitter is messing with my vocabulary. I got 50 subs just from a shout out last night, and then the people that have joined today. So yeah, Twitter fucks with my vocabulary. I almost put, when I was announcing the hat that I'm giving away, I almost put followers, and I'm like, fuck, I don't need to say that. Like I had to delete the post real quick and then change it to subs, because if I put followers then well my Twitter would blow up. Like Twitter would literally implode on itself if I did that. So yeah, but I think that we're at a vital point in history right now, because this is the opportunity, right? This is where the old myths die and the new myths take their place, and we get to see it. And I'm going to need a bigger box for sure. I appreciate it, Yellow Spider Guy, and I appreciate you letting me know in the comments that my sound was fucked up, for sure. Because I would have never known it. I wasn't watching them at the time. I was just putting them out. You know, I'd put out like 3 in one day, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm done for the day, and I just decided, you know, fuck it, I'm not gonna watch myself, because I hate my own voice. You wouldn't know it by the amount I talk, but I hate my own voice. So I don't really listen to my own videos most of the time, unless there's something that I need to address in it. Like, I forget, I was watching, there was something going on in the background one time, and I wasn't in a quiet space when I was recording, and I forget what it was exactly, but you open the door and you could hear it, right? I couldn't hear it because I had my headphones on, but you could hear it, and I was streaming live, and then everybody's like, what did that say? I'm like, I don't know, I couldn't hear it, you know. So I go back and watch it, and somebody was watching Crash on the TV. Okay. So I know what was said after that, but yeah. If you want to know where bad Oscar bait movies started, it was Crash. Because it ticks all the boxes, and this was, but somebody was watching that. So the TV was screaming the N-word, and I'm like, well, shit. Fuck. So I just deleted the video, but that was a couple channels ago, right? You're primarily a Batman fan. I don't think there will be right now. and not for public domain, because Eric's all about doing your own thing with it. So, like, if he came on here right now and told me to change my layout and like told me to take the characters off, I would, just out of respect. But at the same time, Rippa don't care too much. I don't think they'll be public domain, but they'll definitely be usable, right? I wouldn't put them on shirts or anything, but the old guard killed all our childhood heroes, man. They killed all of them. And that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. That's why this has started, right? And it started so strong. It's just that a lot of us just... Oh, yeah. Eric loves my channel. But like I said, if he did tell me, like, hey, you need to take those images down and replace them with something else, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that, man. Just, if he wanted me to. But I went with the kind of least intrusive pictures I could also that he has. I didn't go with any cover art. I went with the promo art. So, and then I'll probably redraw them myself and put my own fan art up as my own stuff as the channel grows. Just haven't had time to sit down and actually do much fan art. I'm still 5 hours into the statue I was designing. So yeah, for real, Basemando. Yeah. This is our community. Is Eric says it all the time, and he's right. Our community is the best community online. We are the best community. Like, I've said it before, Basemando. I don't know if you've heard me. My favorite character was Black Panther. So the movie ruined that for me, right? The only good thing about the movie was the merchandise that came out, because you couldn't find Black Panther merchandise before the movie came out. So I bought a bunch of shirts and a bunch of posters. But like Black Panther, Thanos, and the movies ruined Thanos. Like Black Panther, Thanos, Doctor Doom, which I'm not even going to watch the MCU to see what they do to Doctor Doom. Like, I don't trust them enough to... Oh, okay, yes, he'll probably use some characters from the public domain. My bad, man. Yes, 100%, why not? Like, what I would like to see, honestly, is some Celtic heroes, right? Like, I would love to see some of the Celtic heroes put into this. So you got like Cuchulainn and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of stuff with them, right? Other than like Smite and Fate Stay Night, stuff like that. So I would like to kind of see that be turned into like Thor stuff, but. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think he'll use those 100%. Why not? He might use a couple just to piss Disney off, but I doubt it. What was some, because like Winnie the Pooh just became a fucking public domain character, which is kind of funny. Yeah, he is sort of Celtic. That's what I'm hoping for, or maybe Viking, but he's redheaded, so I'm assuming it's going to be Celtic or Irish at least. All right, man. Let's see. For real. Yeah, so alternatives, we're all talking about a parallel economy, and we're all on the same boat, right? So that's the whole purpose of this, is to jumpstart the parallel economy. I can't wait to see like parallel economy movies, parallel economy video games, all of the alternatives, right? As long as they're good. They've still got to be good. Yeah, skin color is not a character trait. Like, I'll tell you a little bit about my comic that I'm working on, because it's got a little neat premise to it. So it's only going to be 74 issues. Every book is going to be thick like Eric's. They're going to be like 100-page books. And the way it's going to work is you can read them in any order you want, because these books all take places within different points along the timeline. 22 of them do. The others, you mix and match to go to kind of connect the dots with the books. So they're based on tarot cards. And so right side up, the front cover of the book is the right side up of the tarot card. You read it all the way through, but you don't read the back page. You only read the first, the front page on that. You flip the comic over on the back, and it's got the same tarot card. Okay? And it's in burst. It's upside down. You read it backwards like a manga, then the other way. And every book will be like that. At least the main 22 will. But that's just the base idea for it. Yeah. There's a lot of those, actually. That was one of the reasons that Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel had to exist, was that if either one of them ever stopped, Captain Marvel in DC and Captain Marvel in Marvel, if either one of them ever stopped printing, then the rights would go to the other one, right? So DC finally gave up. I know, we're just going to call him Shazam. I don't have any of that yet. Like I said, I haven't even... I've started writing down the Universe Bible, but I haven't started anything else with it. I've got kind of the design that I want down, and it's a vertigo killer. It's what it is. I've just got to actually sit down and do it. But doing this, it helps me get those ideas out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to... I've got the idea in my head, and then when I sit down and start writing it, I'll get writer's block. Stuff like that. And then my art style doesn't really work for it. So I'm going to have to get an artist. I've got a cover artist. I don't have an interior artist for it. And my cover artist, he's a painter. So he's going to paint all the tarot card covers for me. But, and it's going to be a vertigo killer. So it's going to be all magic, all, like, intense stuff like that. And it's not going to even be a superhero book, but... And then I run D&D games every week. Currently, I've got a Pokemon game going, and I'm also looking to run other games. So, and I'm always looking for players for those. So. Young Justice turned me off the first season. Like, they knocked me completely out of the running with liking it the first season when they brought Zatanna in. Because that's another form of tokenization, is you make a character that should be an adult a child, right? And I can't stand that. Zatanna should have been Batman's age. She should have grew up with Batman, not Nightwing. So I didn't like that at all. Yeah, I'll probably have to crowdfund the book unless, I get super successful with this. This is just the first week of this, though. So, like I said, my book's a few years out, so I'm all good with waiting on it. I've got the Devil card mostly planned out. And the only book that you have to read after all the rest of them is The Tower, because that's the ending book. So I'm gonna crowdfund probably the first 22, but I'm gonna have those written, 100% written, and ready to go to print before I start crowdfunding. Like, that's the idea, or at least get the first book done and ready to print before I start crowdfunding. I don't want to run into any mishaps with that. And the only reason I'm saying that in this video is because we're 2 hours and a half in. Nobody that hates me is going to watch it this long. Let's see. See, I don't think he's going to use any of the public domain superheroes. He might use public domain mythological figures more so than if he uses any of them at all. I don't think he'll use any of the old. He might use a name or something like that, but I don't think he'll use any of them. Yeah, I said, and this is going to, Rippy should make a few songs related to Awesome. What I said, and I posted this on Twitter, it was a pitch kind of like for media, and I tagged Eric in it, and I'm like, okay, so make all the media you make it connected to the universe, for sure. Like, don't create a movie, an adaptation of one of your books. Make a completely original story and have it set inside the universe, right? If you're going to make video games and they're going to be something that's non-canon, like something that you're not going to consider canon to your universe, have them like arcade games and video games that exist in that world, right? Create music not for the world, but from the world, right? And like even like card games and stuff. If you have a card game, have it a card game that's from the world, like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? One that exists within the world. That is what that's kind of what. But that's just a media pitch that I threw at him the other day. Oh yeah, for real, yeah. Eric is making this a lot easier for all of us in this space. If that idiot over at Black Sands would have just realized that and shut up, he would have sold more books. Now he's not gonna sell near as many as he would have otherwise. Okay, cool. I don't need. I've got 2 right now, but if I need some more, I'll let a couple of you know when I need them. I'll probably get 2 for every 100 I get, if YouTube allows that. Just so, like I'll like I said, 2 people for every 100 subs I get. That way, I can kind of keep up with everybody, and I know hell of the lore. Like I've known him for about a month now. He's been a huge part of this channel growing, and so I know him. I'm gonna get to know the rest of you as well as I can here. But yeah, so definitely, if I need some more, I will ask. I'll ask out to be it if I need one. So let me ask this, because I've got a Patreon for my other channel and all that. What's the best crowdfunding type thing like that? For just say I wanted donators. Like, well, what's the best one to have? Do y'all know? If I wanted to give y'all a place to donate, if y'all wanted to. Like, I'm building a website, but I've got to pay for the domain before I can have donations there, so. I've got a Patreon. Like I said, I'm using it for my other channel. Do y'all know how to make a separate thing for Patreon? Because I was trying to figure that out yesterday to see if you could, like, without having to make a new Patreon. I mean, I could always make a new Patreon, but yeah. Okay, well, I don't like Kickstarter. I hate Kickstarter. I tried to start one to see if I could build some interest for my comic, and then boom, it makes you put up a date that you plan to be done with it. So I hate that. Yeah, I got to get monetized before I can get memberships and stuff. So, but yeah, that'll come. That's coming. But yeah, it's all looking up for this. Yeah, Kickstarter is okay for some people. Like, once I'm ready to start printing my comic, yes, that'll be great. But oh fuck, Comic-Con. Yeah, there's a story about Comic-Con that I've got. So me and Eric were on Twitter, and Eric had started arguing with this dude over Miles Morales, right? Like he is bound to do. The guy actually started with Eric first, but I just happened to be on there for a minute, and I saw him. And I saw this guy posting about how, Miles Morales is the most popular character, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, then why can't he sell a book? Right? If he's so popular, why can't he sell a book? And I ended up taking this argument, like Eric just moved on, I guess. But I kept going with it, right? Because I kept having a guy, post his receipts. And he was posting from Comic-Con, but it was last year's numbers. And then, we were busting out laughing at him, right? To his face, typing ha 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 ha, shit like that. And anyway, so I posted it from that month, right? There was a month before. And I'm like, man, your boy can't break top 50, right? Your boy Miles can't break top 50. What? And it's a what-if book, of all things, that can't break the top 50. What if books break the damn, they'll break the top 50 just for being a what if book, because people like those random ass stories. Okay, so, but anyway, so he posts well, the Spider-Man Miles Morales game made blah blah blah, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, Dude, it says it lost money. Like that lost money. It had a good initial launch because it came with the PS5, but it lost money after that. And then, you know, it's got kept going. And I swear, the dude turned full NPC and just, I broke him. Because he keeps repeating the same thing, right? And I'm like, bro, alright, I'll tell you what. You show me receipts. You show me your box of Miles comics, and I will drop this subject, right? Just show me one box that has a Miles comic in it. And show me the comic, and I will stop right now. Because I can show you mine that I don't have but one Miles Morales thing in my entire collection, and that is Venomized Miles action figure, and that's only because I bought a bulk pack and it came with a Spider-Gwen, the Venomized Spider-Gwen. I got that, and I got Captain America, and I got a bunch of them. But right, so I'm like, okay, I will show you the one Miles thing I have. I don't have the game. I don't have anything. I don't have the movie that he's in, right? I will just, if you can show me one comic book, I'll drop it, right? And I'll leave you alone. And this dude could not. He's like, I don't have to show you receipts. I've already showed you receipts that he sold. I'm like, the receipts you showed were from last year, and they show that he don't sell, right? My receipts show that he don't sell. So, you know. Oh, and this dude finally blocked me, but it was funny while it lasted. Like, he could not deal. He could not understand what, like, not hitting the top 50 was, right? When the top 10 were mangas. Like, yeah, they can't tell you who created him. They can't tell you what universe he's actually from. Like, most of them think that the game is canon. But yeah, so I mean, I'm just, it's all retarded, right? I don't do the drama stuff most of the time. Like, I don't get a part of it. I'll call him a retard and move on. That's normally how I go. So I'll post the JoJo meme all day long on Twitter. Hell, the Lord can confirm it. Like, I'm pretty much just calling people retard all day long. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what brought him into popularity for most people. Like, Miles is one of the most hated comic book characters that ever exist. Just because, you know, of how he was introduced. It has nothing to do with anything else other than how he was introduced. Which is, you know, they killed Peter, and then in the end of that issue, right, they have another Spider-Man swinging. And in the next issue, you find out that it's Miles Morales. So, like, they killed Peter and had another Spider-Man ready to go. Like, it doesn't have any fact, and nothing else comes into play with Miles. And then you realize he's just a Peter Parker clone. You know, like, by personality and everything. So it's terrible writing. His only feature is that he's black. That's his character trait. I always hated the blaxploitation, like, Panther comics, because they don't work for Panther, right? Luke Cage they kind of work for. Luke Cage kind of plays into that, but they don't work for, like, Black Panther, because he's a king. He rules his own country. You know, he don't give a fuck. This man beat down the Avengers, all of them, by himself. Yeah, it was. The only spider that makes any sense is Scarlet Spider. Yes. So OG Gwen, original Gwen, will always be better than Spider Gwen. Okay, in any form of original Gwen is better than Spider Gwen. And I have Spider Gwen comics. So, like, but Spider Gwen is a better tokenization than Miles is. Until they put the two of them in the same comic. My God. You want to talk stupid? That is stupid. But your comic came with a police badge. Well, that's cool. Yes. So I don't have the same philosophy as Eric does about multiverses, because I do like some multiverses. Like, I like the if they're done well, like they have to be done right. And I've always liked like the Earth 3 from DC. That's the crime syndicate. They're the evil counterpart. Everybody who's evil they swap sides basically. You know, good and evil swap sides. So I've always loved that type of universe, or a multiverse that is completely different and it's within like the same multiverse. I've always liked that type of stuff. But I don't like crossovers. You know, some people heard me say this yesterday. I hate crossovers with a passion, and I hate meta humor. So if a character breaks the fourth wall to tell me something, I hate them more often than not. She-Hulk is the one exception to this. But I despise Deadpool with a passion. I can't stand him. And that's the greatest example of a ripped-off character becoming more popular than the character he's ripped off from. Because Rob Liefeld could not draw Deathstroke at the time. That's how Deadpool was created. For those of you that don't know that. Yes, DC has always done multiverses better than Marvel. The exception to that with Marvel is when they did the Exiles. Okay, so the Exiles are a multiversal. Like, they started as X-Men, but they shift to Avengers and stuff like that. They shift teammates all the time from different universes. So they'll go to a universe that is completely different, right? They are done very well. The Exiles were done very well, and it was. What about the reality which Hitler cured cancer? Yeah, that one. So there's but DC did. I'll change that. DC did multiverses better than Marvel until New 52, and before there were only 52 universes, when they did the infinite universes, that got retarded. And that's why they knocked it down to 52. So the 52 universes only is a lot better. And Dragon Ball Super has the best multiverse that ever existed. I hate to even say it because it was kind of terrible, but you know, Dragon Ball Super, it had the best multiverse because every one of the universes is 100% different than the last. Are we talking about the original White Wolf there? See, I did not like Doomsday Clock, but I'm not a Watchmen fan. I hated that they made Dr. Manhattan that powerful. Like, he was never shown to be the equivalent to the Source before that. And then that goes from people who read Dr. Manhattan but have never read Sandman. So Dr. Manhattan should not be that powerful. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Like, he's powerful, sure, but he's not anywhere near the Source. And nothing can make him that powerful. Right? So the Source in DC is God. He's literally Judeo-Christian God. The three most powerful characters in DC are the Source, Michael, and Lucifer. The only other characters that come even close to that are the Endless from Sandman. They're the only ones. Oh, the female Broly. Yeah, but that's not really female Broly. That's not, it's somebody, it's not Broly. You know, that's a character with the same power as Broly. So that's my thing there. That's not really Broly. And then they brought a Broly in. You know, it's somebody who has the same type of transformation as him. And which, when they explained it in the Broly movie, you know, that makes sense. I like the Broly movie a lot more than I like the old Broly movie. The old Broly movie was stupid. But every movie, they hate Vegeta, and I'm a big Vegeta fan. So, like, I cosplay as Vegeta, so, like, yeah, he was like Molecule Man, yeah. What about that? I hate that universe, Yara. Oh yeah, the what if universe. I never read that, man. A lot of the old what ifs I just ignored, because they didn't mean anything then. Yeah, Vegeta is the best character in Dragon Ball. So in all of Dragon Ball. Oh no. Okay. So yeah, yes. I'm not talking about the series. No, I'm not talking about anything after the Cell Saga. I'm talking about the movies, right? The old movies. So, the old movies, Vegeta is only useful in 2 of those. Period. Right? The Cooler movie, Return of Cooler, where he's on New Namek, and then every movie after that, he's semi-useful in the Broly movie after he has his breakdown, which doesn't make sense for his character, right? I've actually done, I wish I knew where it was, but I did a breakdown one time of all the different things that had to happen for the movies to fit into the canon. And it's like, okay, so the Broly movie is if Vegeta won against Cell, right? That's the Broly movie. Vegeta kills Cell when he's supposed to, instead of letting him get to his final form. So that's why they're celebrating at the beginning. Like, don't make me turn this into a Dragon Ball Z stream. We'll be here all night. We're already going on the 3-hour mark. So, but yeah. If we turn this into a Dragon Ball Z stream, it's over. Yeah, man, I didn't read What Ifs at that time. Like, I'm trying to think of the last What If I actually read. Like, I would rather read The Exiles than reading What Ifs. Yes, okay. That right there, okay. Gohan would have never beat Cell if it wasn't for Vegeta. Vegeta helped Gohan beat Cell. Goku was not enough, and they ignore that in most of the games, right? They ignore it in most of the canon that Gohan was outmatched. Yes, I love that game. I play the card game more than anything in that now. When I do play it, but Dragon Ball Kakarot is great. They actually have the scene in it too. That's one thing I love. Ripper's going live in 25 minutes. Okay, cool. Well, we can burn 25 minutes, no problem. Cause I'm gonna go watch Ripper when that starts. But oh, you're collecting the What If Omnibus? Okay, that's cool. Like when it comes to Marvel, I was never really I would collect things with the characters that I liked in them until fucking Civil War started, and then you couldn't collect anything without reading every issue of everything. Yeah. I much prefer DC with theirs, because at least you could read with their events, because their events were simple until Final Crisis, and Final Crisis was retarded as well. I have watched the first 3 episodes of One Punch Man. I've not watched all of it. Yeah, I'll definitely be on Ripper's stream there. Because I got to keep up with it. I got to. It's like he drops some more news. I gotta be there for it, just in case. But yeah. So, but Yara is one. Yes, Final Crisis is a piece of shit. Okay, yeah. They wrote a whole story around murdering Batman, or a whole event around just so they could kill Batman, and then it all started going downhill from there. Like they never should have let Grant Morrison write for Batman. He's a great writer when he's writing his own thing or something that nobody cares about. But he cannot write for established characters. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest criticism. I wouldn't have it any other way, and I know Ripper wouldn't either. Like, I'm going to be a little lighter on the first issue than I will be any of the rest of them, because that's establishing the universe, and I don't know the rules yet. Once the rules for the universe are established, yes, I will be holding Rippa 100% accountable for everything. Like, if a character is the wrong size, if there's a character that's supposed to be this height and they're a different size in another panel, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to shill. You don't have to worry about it. I say that in my first video, my introduction, that I'm not affiliated with Eric. I don't know Eric personally. I'm a fan. I'm a fan who, the most interaction I have with him is over, super chats and Twitter, which we agree on. I agree with a lot of stuff Eric does, but the stories, as far as they go, I mean, they are open to criticism. And anything that can be criticized, I'm not gonna, like I said, the first issue is the only one that's really open from too much criticism. And in that one, you can still criticize the art choices, stuff like that, the angles, stuff like anything can be criticized if you look hard enough. But the story can't really be criticized until we get a few issues in, and I mean, unless it's just an objectively bad story, right? But until we get a few issues for the universe, we don't know what it is, right? So we've got nothing to compare it to other than DC or Marvel, which has all been bullshit recently. It's all been bad. So, you know, I'm not gonna be one of these guys that's like, okay, well, it's a decent book, but blah blah blah. You know, no, if it's a bad book, if it's a bad story, if it doesn't make sense with the universe, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna be one of those guys that beats around the bush about it. Yeah, it's not fear that's holding me back, Vegeta. So, I mean, since we got a few minutes left before Rippa's thing starts, do y'all want to see my Vegeta wig? Wise in the chat if you want to see it. Come on. This will be one of the only streams where I put part of my cosplay on without it being pre-planned. Okay. Do you think it's better for Rippa to write all the stories or have writers join his team? Writers join his team, definitely. Because eventually this is going to get too big for him. Alright, I'm going to go grab my Vegeta wig. I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. Yeah, just hang on a second. Alright. So normally there's some lights in it, and I can turn them on, and I can change my forms when I'm in cosplay. So I've got it where I can change any form I want. I don't have the lights in it right now, but yeah. This is 3D printed. It's this is what I do. I 3D print shit and I create shit. So show the profile. What do you mean? I didn't until last night when somebody mentioned it in the Tuesday night main event. Oh, side view. Side view. If you can see for Yara. Yara's in the way. There we go. And yeah, so there are holes in it, right? It just helps the light go through it more on this. Yeah, I got you now. I was just... It's hot in here. I've actually got... there's actually a video of me in full costume, and I had a different wig at the time. This is my newest one. But I had a different wig at the time. And I was in some heavy-ass armor that I had made myself. It sucked. Okay? But, anyway, so we reenacted that entire fight. And it wasn't planned or anything. I ran into the 18 at a convention, and we reenacted that entire fight. So there's a video of me somewhere doing that. I don't have the video. I've got a picture of it. I won't be going to Anime Matsuri this year. I'm planning on going next year. I gotta save up some money before I go to anything really. But yeah, that's and I've got, you know, my Baby Yoda costume. I can't wear it right now, it's too hot, but that's my award winner. I do have a scouter, yes. I don't wear it with this costume because it's not the same costume. Like, I wear the it's Cell Saga armor, or the most common armor that you'll see Vegeta in. So I don't wear any of the other stuff from, you know, from other costumes. And I do have a scouter, yes. And then I've got, this is one of them I was working on. It's Green Ranger Shredder, but it was too small for my head, so I didn't get it printed all the way because it's a pain in the ass. But so well, you know what Ripple would say to that, don't you? He says, "It tell you don't be fat." But in all seriousness, you know, yeah, I think we can do big things here, and if nothing else, it'll be fun, right? Just this new book comes out, and we have a meeting like this just on YouTube, and I might get a couple of y'all. If y'all want to ever want to be on the show, you let me know, and we'll arrange something. You know, we'll talk. I don't mind it. Like, no. I make them on Blender sometimes, and sometimes I'll make them on like 3D Builder, whichever one is easier at the time to make them with. And then I'll print them from my slicer, which is, I use Ultra Cura more than anything. And I've got a CR10 printer, so I can print, you know, that to that. Yeah, I've got that as one of my options for the colors. Yara is in the way. Her hair is in the way right now. Okay. And as you can see, I got the Kill I Kill scissors behind me. Which is kind of funny. If you ever watch Kill I Kill, so kill and wear translate to the same thing. They have the same like translation word for it. So we call it Kill I Kill, but over there it's probably Dress to Kill. Yes, I'm a weeb, if you can't tell. I also dress as Lancer from Fate Stay Night. I've done Deathstroke. I got Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai. I'm doing a Johnny Lawrence Power Ranger at some point. And Vegeta is one of my mains. Like, I've done Sabretooth from Wolverine Origins. Lucifer. I did Lucifer from the Netflix show. I much prefer the comics, but I look more... I got the dark hair and everything, so I didn't go with the blonde version. Where the hell did my hat go? I lost my hat. Look it. But yeah, I mean, I'm a nerd. I like nerdy shit. I've always liked nerdy shit. I'm in Alabama, so... Oh, there's my hat. Hold on one second. I like time travel shit that means something, as long as it means something. I don't like it to change the universe, but oh, that sucks. Never been to New York, but I have been to California. That was an interesting trip. Everybody kept trying to get me to say racial slurs because I'm from the South. All the white people there. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Let's see. Oh, we made it to 3 hours and 14 minutes so far. So, yeah. Yeah. Later, I am. California, yeah. 100%. Yeah, like people at Disneyland were trying to get me to say racial slurs. It was kind of stupid. Just because I'm Southern. But yeah, I'm working on a reverse statue of Awesome. I'll probably work on minis here later. Y'all gotta help me come up with a prize for 500. Later. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm about to end this. So I can go get something to buy. Go get a bite of something before I sit down and watch Rippa. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time yet, but I'll be here doing the same thing tomorrow. I don't have much content till the comic book comes out, so I'm kind of just bullshitting my way through it until I come up with a theory or something. But anyway, this is a good place to end. We've hit the 3:15 mark, so thank you all for hanging out. I'll see y'all in the Ripper chat, and rock out and peace out.